Okay, we'll get kicked off then. I'll just do a quick admin spiel. You have the handout. Um, some of the other tools we're going to be using are these two displays on each side of the main whiteboard. This is Christ Made Men. We're going to talk to that specifically about where we kind of function in life as men. And then this is income sources that are related to our careers after we go to college and get trained up. And that's basically borrowed from Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad cash flow quadrant. So I pulled that in as a tool that we're going to speak to as part of the overall flow that's in your handout, going through this process of determining our career purpose that God has for us all the way up through getting hired. Okay? Any questions, thoughts, comments? Okay. All right, so I'll kick off a prayer, and then we'll start. Oh, yeah, one other admin item is it's open forum. If you have questions during the discussion, please ask away. And I'll make sure I give you the mic, because I've been briefed that the mic's important for the recording, because then they'll put it online. All the different sessions are going to be online, and that's good to know for you all. So if somebody asks, I couldn't make the conference, part, all, none, you can refer them to either the website or the DVD CDs. So it's kind of cool, especially if somebody has to get pulled out. They wanted to be here, now they have it available to them. So I'll hand the mic to you if you have a question so we can capture your question, and then I'll answer during the time here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and pray. Father God, thank you for this afternoon. Thank you so much, Lord, that you are an awesome God. You've allowed us to be here to learn how to be courageous men in all walks of life, and we're going to focus, Lord, on the career and college prep for our careers. Lord, thank you that you've created each one of us in such an awesome, specific, unique way, and you bless us each with a purposeful, intentional career that we can utilize to glorify you, serve others, and be blessed. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, just a quick intro for me, and then I'm going to find out a little bit about you here. So I'm Brandon Ruby. We're here for the Maximize Your Career and College Planning Success. Quick story for me, on me, just to give you both a reference of where I'm coming from, and you're going to be able to use me as a tool, a resource, to pick my brain. And so I'll share where my background is, and also to give glory to God for what he's allowed me to do in my process going through this journey that we're going to talk about for y'all, and how that can apply to you or somebody that you know. Because this is something you can definitely share with friend, brother, sister, parent, son, daughter, or fathers, parents that have kids that are going to be going into this path. So again, I'm Brandon Ruby. I'm a retired Navy pilot. I entered this process in 1978, entered the Naval Academy, commissioned in 82, and then I was blessed with 24 years as a Navy pilot. No, I was a helicopter pilot. Yeah, not jets. I flew helicopters. I picked up the jet pilots when they ejected out of their jets. They needed me. Yeah. But yeah, but I know a lot of Top Gun pilots. And Top Gun moved from Miramar out to Fallon. It's like, we lost all. But the Marines are cool too. Hey, now it's a Marine base. What did Mike say? Yeah. Well, I don't. That's right. The helicopter pilot came down to get the pilot in World War II. So, retired in 2002, and then started up my own executive business coaching company. So I started working with executives on high-performance team organization development. Later, started narrowing in on a new type of coaching with my wife in the nutritional intervention environment as a health coach. My wife's a certified nutritionist. So we train health coaches and health professionals in the area of nutritional intervention. And now most recently, I'm focusing more in on the college and career coaching for high schoolers into college age, and then those that are in transition later on in life. They might have already started a career. I know, James, you mentioned something about getting into cyber intelligence. Yeah, so all of these principles apply to all those seasons in somebody's career journey. So again, I share that background with you, so now you can pick my brain. I've worked military, government contracting, and now I'm a federal employee also supporting the Hornet Jet program in Coronado for maintenance optimization. So now, I'd like to find out about who's here, say, starting a career, looking at college and moving into your first career.
I'm a college student. I'm at Grossmont right now, planning to transfer to SCSU, get my bachelor's, and then go to Harvard, Princeton, something like that to get my PhD so I can teach history. That's what I'm thinking of doing right now.
Okay. Awesome. So, okay, so you're going to stay in the academia world, going through getting your PhD and then instructing as a professor in history is your goal. Awesome, thanks.
Cool. Name's James, a veteran Navy like you, but not that. I did interior communications, basically telecom in the Navy.
What you're doing now?
Well, when I was in the Navy, and that's what I'm also kind of doing now, supporting the bases, Point Loma, sometimes North Island, amongst other bases in San Diego. Okay. So looking to change my career field into cyber because I've had IT in the background as well.
So you're looking at a career transition?
Yeah, career transition.
Well, good, and so this will help you too, because we're going to talk about all the aspects of career processing that includes transition as well. You can hold it if you want.
Yeah, so I have a possible career transition coming up. I've been working in the mechanics field, automotive field for 10 years, and now I'm giving the opportunity for free schooling, so I might go back to school to get out of that field into something that better fits my giftings or God-given purpose. So.
Excellent. Okay. And you're not sure exactly what that is yet?
No, I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's even going to happen.
Okay. So this is great. This is you're in the right place. Well, we're all in the right place, but this is definitely going to be helpful to you.
All right. So I just finished my second year or my second semester in college at Grossmont, and I'm looking to do more stuff in political science. I'm going to be working the elections for this November's time, so that's going to be good. I worked a couple of different elections and also as a political circulator, so I would talk to registered voters, get them on the ballot, and then good things to put on the ballot. So see if they qualified first. So like go to big, huge events and then talk to a lot of different people. So that's I feel like is one of my spiritual gifts, is being able to talk with multiple different people and then get them engaged in something that to be beneficial for the future. But yeah.
So you're looking more in the political science environment, though?
Yeah.
Long term. Okay, so you two want to talk definitely, because if you're doing history, you'll be able to make sure that you're up to speed to avoid what David Joseph was saying about the spirit of sleep, so that people don't fall asleep and they vote and get involved and participate in society in a awake, being awake, huh?
Okay, so I'm here kind of to help my daughter out. She's a senior at Foothills, and I'm from a family of no college education, not me or predecessors. So I really didn't know how to help her. So I've been just trying to get as much counsel on helping, guiding her, because she's real smart. She's doing good. She's college bound, and you met her at the Foothill at the college night. So I'm going to try to take good notes and get them so I can help her in her journey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you're here for the information gathering. Yeah. Excellent. Good. So, and I met his daughter, about 3 nights ago at the Foothills Christian High College night, where they had SDSU, San Diego Christian College, Grand Canyon University, all these reps were there to help the high schoolers kind of zero in and at least get information on what the options were for them for, post-secondary school. Great. Well, thanks for coming. And we'll kick right into the process of maximizing your college and career success as you're planning through. And what's happened today is it was fun going through our sessions from last night through just now, because all your previous speakers have set us up for total success for this application. Now, because we're going to talk about getting a career that's a fit for you, but that's not the end of mine, of course, even though the payout is to earn a salary, but the salary earning isn't the end of mine. It's like Mark Slater was saying, it's glorify God and just be doing what he wants us to do. So starting out over here, jotted down some information. This diagram here has to do with Christ-made men, and who set us up for success for this was Charles Simpson. He mentioned how women and men are different. Their brains are made different. God made our brains different. In the womb, when testosterone flows over the brain, it divides some of those brain connectors. So men think in blocks or chunks, whereas women, everything kind of, it's like spaghetti or a bundle of wire. So here, what I decided to do is put a picture of the different parts of our lives that we operate in. What I meant to do here on this diagram also is to add a visual to communicate that what we're doing is merging the practical with the spiritual. So you don't see anything, except for the title, Christ Made Men, there's really nothing communicating the spiritual reality that we're in. That David, Joseph, didn't he mention something about we're spirit? Yeah, so we're not physical bodies experiencing spiritual events occasionally by going to church or spending time in prayer. We're spirit beings that happen to be in a physical body. So that's why all these aspects of our life are in the spirit environment, because we're living spiritual lives in a physical body that, of course, we're going to exchange when Christ comes back for a spirit body. But for now, the way we participate as men, we have personal lives, things that we have personal, like our personal health, our thought life, personal, relational, how we relate to other people and to the Lord in relationships. Then there's the vocational environment that we operate in, and the recreational, sports, fun, activities, recreational. For this particular application today, though, we're going to zero in on the vocational part of our lives. And Romans 12:1, does anybody know that by heart? I beseech you that...
Yeah. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service.
Awesome. So there's a prime example of merging the practical with the spiritual. So we're Christ-made men. We're involved in both a practical and a spiritual activity. And I think it was also, Charles Simpson. He mentioned something about faith and works, faith and action. Our faith is revealed through what we do. So there's the practical, what we do physically and outwardly, and it's tangible, and then there's the spiritual, but they come together. You can't separate them. So we're going to pull that principle of vocational environment over to this board now, where we're talking about maximizing your career and college planning success. We want to look at this process where we're going to start with discovering our career purpose that God gives us, all the way to getting hired, but based on biblical, worldview, faith-based principles. If somebody has their Bible, if they could look up Psalm 139, 13 and 14. Psalm 139, 13 and 14. Again, we're setting the foundation, because everything we're going to talk about in our career journey is good. 139 verses 13 and 14.
For you formed my inward parts, you covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well.
Awesome. So we're fearfully and wonderfully made, every one of us. Every one of us has a unique set of skills, talents, experiences, abilities, and God created that in us. And since we're all unique, we all have a different journey through our career preparation in college and what career God has us planned for. So God is awesome in the sense that He did create a God-given career purpose in our lives. So on your handout, you can see I numbered across the top 1 through 5. First being discovery in your God-given career purpose. The end in mind isn't just finding the right college that prepares you for the right career so that you can make money to get hired. Obviously, the end in mind is to live an abundant and prosperous life. Which begs the question, okay, so what is the abundant life from a biblical worldview, not a secular worldview? Who'd like to take a shot at it? I did give you some verses in here, but so God says, have life and have it abundantly in John 10:10b. What does that mean to you?
Well, I don't know what it means, but it's kind of like how in the Constitution how it says necessary and proper. It's like a living document, like that. How it's like it's not really defined, but it's
Okay, so you're saying from the constitutional principles. Okay, that could be part of it. Yeah, because Mark Slater mentioned how the Constitution was established by, men that were godly. So we have a godly document that's based on biblical principles put together by godly men. So yeah, so that could so to follow through and live the Constitution and apply it could be an abundant. It will be abundant for us in a sense that we'll live in peace and we'll live in a God-fearing country versus a atheist country. Anybody else? One more.
The question was,
What is abundant? What does God mean when he says, I want you to live life and live it abundantly?
I'd say that means to live life just as he designed it, as if like the fall had never happened. Like we've been reunited to him in relationship, and therefore we can live out our full purpose and full identity with him. And
That's it. Perfect. Yeah, that's excellent. So to live abundantly is to live the life that he planned for you and me and James and all of us for his purpose to fulfill what he wants to accomplish in our lives and in other lives using us as we fulfill the purpose he's given us. So, okay, so let's do this. Discover your God-given purpose is the start of this process that we're going to talk about in maximizing your college and career planning. Keeping in mind that we're focusing on the vocational part of our life and looking at the end in mind, we do want to get hired so that we can earn money as an income resource. And so that's what this chart's going to talk to as we get towards the end of the process. So if we're starting out with discover your God-given purpose, how do we do that?
find your different talents. Find your talents.
Okay, so find your talents, find your abilities, but that's a related issue, knowledge, skills, and abilities. But we're looking at the purpose, the why. What is God's purpose for us that applies directly to a career or a career set? So what I suggest to you is, has anybody heard of Myers-Briggs or DISC assessment or temperament, sorter, personality assessments? What is that? Strengths finders? Yes. Yeah, typically, now it depends on how it's administered too. So that would be my recommendation is find a resource for the set of assessments. And so typically somebody's temperament or personality only changes when there's a traumatic event or a life-changing event. Otherwise, you're going to see consistency. And what I like about what I do with my clients is I offer 3 assessments, and it only takes about 30 minutes to complete all 3. I use the Strength Finders, Myers-Briggs, and DISC. And then they're aggregated together so that you get a nice overview of who that person is. Okay? So that's, and it helps you, it actually gives you a report, a feedback on what is your purpose. Now, it doesn't tell you what career to go to. It's just basically pulling together what are your strengths, what's your personality, what are your behavioral styles. So strength finders, you mentioned strength finders. So strength finders is kind of the core of who you really are. And then the Myers-Briggs, I take it back, the DISC. The DISC communicates and tells you what is your behavioral style. And the DISC is D-I-S-C. It's directive, interpersonal, secure, and compliant are the three words for DISC. And that just communicates your behavioral style. And then the Myers-Briggs is how people perceive you. So you get all three of those together, it really helps you lock in for now where you're at and what might be, or what is your potential for your career sets. What question do you have?
Yeah, those three that you mentioned, are these like something online, or is it a book you read?
Yeah, so they're typically always online. I use Living My Purpose. A gentleman in Ramona, Mike Adams, created, a Christian man. He utilizes it for both high schools, colleges, and businesses. And so what I do is I set up an account for my clients through Living My Purpose. I have a resource sheet I'm going to give you that has several other resources where you can find these same assessments or similar assessments for determining what is your God-given purpose for career focus. So remind me to hand that out to you. You can also, we have, I know Mike Adams and I do career coaching. There's 2 ladies here. If you have a sister, a mom, a daughter, a friend that's female that might want to get with a career coach, a female career coach, that's available too. And I have that on the resource sheet that I'm going to hand out. So yeah, you can enter your question. You can find these assessments online. Some for fee, some for free. Typically, the for free is you're self-directed. You go take the assessments. It gives you beneficial feedback, but then you have to do some of the aggregating and analysis on, okay, what is the purpose that comes out of that? Typically, the ones for fee are the ones that are going to come with career coaching, one-to-one career coaching with a coach. So you get to choose. And again, all those are on, there's the for fee and for free resources on the resource sheet I'm going to give you for those assessments. So that's key, though, because discovering your God-given career purpose, now, what I like Living My Purpose tool is it gives you a set of careers that now match your purpose right online. And then USA Jobs also has a free tool that can show you, and it's on the resource sheet, it'll show you the career sets that are probably the potential for your purpose. But what's nice is you move from really locked in purpose and then what career sets match that purpose. For example, your career purpose might be really focused in maybe on the medical industry. The set of careers that match your purpose could be MD, veterinarian, physician assistant, nurse practitioner, chiropractor. You know, there's options, and you can investigate those careers now to see which one is a fit for you that matches your purpose. That make sense? Okay. So, and this is what's really neat is a lot of people will jump in because the third step is now you find the education or training to set you up for success for that career or set of careers that you're looking at. Because now you know what career you want to lock in on. Now you need the education and training. Either first career or in transition later on in life, you want to get the education and training that prepares you for this career that's in alignment with your purpose. I mean, God made us so unique and awesome that He wants us to be joyful and fulfilled in life, and the only way we're going to be totally fulfilled is doing what He wants us to do for His purpose in our life as a career. Because you think, what activity do we spend more time on than any other activity? Our job, 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, some people Monday through Saturday, some people Monday through Sunday, at least 8 hours. That's 8 hours a day. How much time do you all sleep each day? How many hours? Roughly. 7, 8? That's That's ideal. 7, 8 is ideal for health and wellness and brain health. But a lot of people get 5, 6, if they're lucky. So they're not even sleeping as much as they work. So there you go. And then the other hours in the day are you got to eat, you got to commute, you want to be involved in church, you want to be going to home group or Bible study, you want to be relaxing a little just to chill, to recharge for the next day. So we spend more hours at work than any other activity. Ergo, doesn't it make sense? Lock in.
The time you're talking about, one thing that I noticed was, for some people, you got to drive time there, drive time back. That's another hour and a half. So you find something that's real beneficial during that time. 'Cause I know for years it was just a matter of, 105.3 and all this sort of. But
Yeah, you're talking about the commute? Okay, so keep that thought when we get to the job search. Keep that thought when we get to the job search, because you're going to take a lot of things into consideration when you start selecting a job. But first, we want to know what our purpose, our God-given career purpose is. Select a career that's within that set of careers that matches your purpose, and then go to the college, university, or trade school selection. And you want to use a tool that tells you everything about that college, everything about the university, where it's at, what's the culture, what are the financial assistance tools available, what scholarships, what grants, to set you up for a quality education and training to get you that career. So, and again, that could either be a Living My Purpose tool or the USA Jobs website that I'm going to give you on the resource sheet. So again, that's what's great about this workshop. It's going to set you up for total success to do your planning. It's going to help you individually. So it's not set up for just one type of career or one job. It's set up to help you find your purpose, select a career, do your investigation, pick 2 or 3 that match your purpose, see which one's the best fit for you. Now find the college or university or trade school, because not everybody's made to go to college. That's not necessarily part of God's career purpose for every individual. We need mechanics, we need plumbers, we need electricians, we need, you name it, people in trades to support us that don't like doing trades or don't even have that, capacity. It's not in our DNA to be involved in that skill set. So great. So now we pick the college, university, or trade school, depending on what path, career that you're focusing on. And then you get to the job search, which we're going to talk. We'll go into a little deep dive in the job search here in a minute. So what questions do you have on discovering your purpose, going through the career selection process, and then researching education, training? Does this flow okay for, I'm trying to, here's something you want to write down. Simplicity supports sustainability. Simplicity supports sustainability. So you want to keep your plan simple. And this 5-step process I wrote out as part of that, keeping it simple. Of course, you've heard the KISS principle, keep it super simple. I've adapted a little bit for being gentler. Yeah, keep it super simple. So simplicity supports sustainability, so you want to keep this process as simple as you can. Find out your purpose. Don't look at all the careers that pop up for your purpose area. Pick a few initially. Just research a few, and don't look at all the colleges. Look at the colleges that are going to fit. Yes?
I might not be right, but like you said, there's so many specialty areas to go into. I've been told by just some people that I talk with, I'm trying to help, like with my daughter, it's like going in, she wants to go engineering. And some people are, go this route. But is it, like you said, keep it simple, start general. And then as you start going through your college, that's when other things may come up, but get your general degree.
Okay, so engineering. We'll use engineering as an example. Yeah, so the question is, sometimes you can be so broad it's hard to decide. So I'll use the Naval Academy as an example. So I went to the Naval Academy. It's predominantly a science engineering school because we're talking about military and a lot of the technology. But we did have humanities, we had history, we had English, but they still took engineering courses because they had to be engineering minded, not knowing what exact billet they would get once they were commissioned, after they finished their midshipman schooling. So for engineering could be a major purpose. Then, looking at the career sets, there's mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, general engineering, hydro engineering, aerospace engineering. Your daughter would look at that and go, oh, okay. There's also the issue of pray, pray, pray. You're praying through this whole process. So you're praying, okay, Lord, thank you for showing my purpose, using scientific tooling, assessment programs that are proven. Now, pray, pray, pray for the career. Lord, what? And the Lord's going to show her, and she'll have a sense that, I really would enjoy such and such engineering. Because she can't make a wrong decision. I mean, some people say, oh, what if I pick the wrong career or the wrong wife or what if there's only one out there? What if I'm supposed to do this ministry or that ministry? There's 3 great ministries. I like to do them all. Just pick one. Yeah. Romans 8:28. Thank you. Let's go back to the foundation, since we're talking about a biblical worldview, faith-based approach to careers. All things work for good for those that love God and are called according to his purpose. So, called according to his purpose, which is specific for each one of us and unique. He's going to answer her prayer. Of course, getting guidance from family, schools. As she's looking at these schools, that'll help guide what does the school have available for majors. Because she'll want to pick, we'll use your daughter as an example. To be optimally successful, she's going to want to pick a career within her purpose. So any of those careers are going to fit her purpose. And she's going to want to pick a school that trains her up. And when she picks the college or university, she's going to want to go into the university declaring her major. Not going to university, I'll see what I'm going to do. So engineering, she'll declare engineering as her degree and do the prerequisites and then specialize maybe a year or 2 in, but she's everything supporting what she's going to do. I'll give you some intel. I've investigated various college career counselors at the college. Oh, we're here to help you when you come to whatever university, Podunk University. And it doesn't matter if you don't know what major you're going to declare. Just come to college. Well, yeah, the student comes to college and drifts through the first couple of years, finally locks on a major. Now they got to extend to at least maybe 2 years, and the school makes the bucks. So since we know we can determine what our purpose is by using scientific assessments, God's the God of science. We know that. Praying, applying Romans 12:1, present our bodies a living sacrifice, understanding Romans 8:28, knowing that Psalms 139, we're wonderfully and fearfully made. Now we're going to get locked in. We'll be able to successfully select a education or training environment that's going to train us up in the career that we've selected. And okay, so now let's say we've determined our purpose. We selected a career. We're done with college, university, trade school, technical school. Now we're in the job search. So here's where the rubber meets the road. Now, okay, I want to now be employed. So over here you have your income source. There's a couple options now. Do I go to an employer and go through the job search process to be employed by an employer, or do I become self-employed and do it on my own? So there's a couple options. What we'll do right now is focus on the employed for the job search. So this is key. So I think I put it on your handout. Okay, we're number 4. Because number 3, we already picked our college. We've zeroed in on a major. So we save time and money going through the 4 or so years of college. Number 4, job search, acquisition tools, and techniques. And these are, I gave you the straight out proven. I tested these when I left the Navy. When I left the Navy, I then had to re-enter the job search environment as a retired Navy pilot going into something different than piloting. So networking is number 1. Network, network, network. I can't overemphasize the idea of networking. And networking is about relationships. It's building relationships in that industry that you've seen God direct you in the area of your career direction. You're going to network with that industry. James? Yeah, for business? Yeah, so James said that's also important for the business. Actually, yeah, you're right. It's important for all 4 of these quadrants, but since we're focusing on employment, so you want to network with family, friends, college alumni, the college you came from, because they usually will have a strong networking system set up for hiring out, because they want their students to get hired, because that means more students will want to come to their college, which means the college makes more money because the college is successful in placing their students in employment. Okay, so we'll focus here at job search. Your networking is key. But you're going to be networking. James is right. You're going to be networking. You want to network for the rest of your life. Always be networking. Building relationships. Looking at quid pro quo. You're helping somebody, and they'll help you. You want it to be a win-win. Sometimes you're going to be helping them, and sometimes they'll be able to help you. So as you're networking, now you're going into the full-fledged job search. So usually you can find the best job in your job search through a network relationship. Typically you can find the best match, the higher paying job, the culture you want to live in is typically found through networking. Then in addition to networking, you're going to be writing resumes and getting ready for interviews. So for the job search, you're going to be looking for jobs within your career set that's going to be in alignment with your purpose. You're going to do it diligently and intentionally. So you're going to be diligent. It's basically your job now. That'll be your job. You've probably heard that before. The job search, when you're not employed, is your job. So you're getting up in the morning as if you're going to work, and your work is to find work. And I'm providing you with resources too on job search. There's some resources on where to hunt for jobs on the resource sheet I'm going to give you. And number 3, resume writing. So we'll start out with the resume writing. You're in your job search mode. You're still networking. The resume, you always want to match the resume to the job description. So you go to USA Jobs or Monster.com. You're going to these different sites, or with networking, somebody tells you about a job that's open, that's a fit for you. You go to that company's website and you research them. You find out the job posting, what's the description of the job, you write the resume to the job. Does that make sense? Yeah, you use the same words. Yeah, take the words out of the ad or the job posting online, and you weave that into your resume as it fits. Of course, you have to be with integrity and be honest and tell them exactly what you do that matches. Now, say there's 5 things they want as requirements, but you only have 4. Just put the 4 in. You might be the only one that has 4, and everybody else only has 3 that submits their resume. Okay, so resume, you write it to the job, and KSA and E on your handout. It's knowledge, skills, abilities, and experience. So you're sharing your KSEs, your knowledge, skills, abilities, and experience in your resume. Knowledge, your degree, any training you've had, any certifications, your knowledge, abilities. I can do this. I can build a motor. for a car. I can do Microsoft tools. I know all the Microsoft tools. I know another language, which could bleed over to skills, but it's an ability. You have the ability to speak other language. And then skill sets. What skills do you have in general? Manufacturing. Go ahead.
Keep one thing in mind, which a lot of coworkers always entice you into. Don't lie and don't fib and exaggerate it. Keep the truth
On your resume. Yeah, always tell the truth, because it'll come out. It'll be revealed in the interview. If you get an interview, and that'd be very embarrassing and not a good witness, because we want to be, the whole goal here is, one thing I didn't mention, a lot of times you hear, when we start over here and going into this whole career world, some people say that, oh, there's the full-time minister, that's the pastor, the missionary, the church worker, full-time staff. Well, this is our ministry. Our work's our ministry. If we're there 8 hours a day, what a concept to grasp and embrace that, hey, this is our ministry. We get to spend 8 days with a captive audience and be the courageous Christian in the workplace and share Christ. God's not having to bring the world to us. He just puts us in the world. We're not of the world, we're in the world, and now we're in the world being an influence. So I just want to have you keep that in the back of your mind as we're going through this whole process. It's not a career, and it's not, okay, I check my, walking in the Spirit in at the door, and then I go in and work, and then when I leave that day, okay, now I'm walking in the Spirit. We're going to walk in the Spirit the whole day, and that's the only way you can be successful in ministry is walking in the Spirit. Okay, so back to the resume. It's matching the job description. Then now we're talking about the interview. Interview preparation. Part of the preparation is you've researched the company to get your resume in alignment with the job description, but you're also researching the company. What's the company's culture? What's their mission, values, vision? You want to find out about the company. What are some of their pain points that you pick up either? You could see it either on their website or through media online, social media, or on TV. You see a company, like Wells Fargo. Oops, they just had a bunch of accounts set up that weren't supposed to be there, and the employee. So you might have the intelligence. You might have cyber intelligence. You can go in there and go, we can help prevent that from happening again. I'm James, and I'll help you make sure that doesn't happen again. We'll put up various firewalls and security. So you're doing interview preparation by learning about the company and getting your interview uniform together. You've probably heard the word, there's the book, Dress for Success. You're going to dress to that business. So if I'm going to go in for a computer engineering job interview, I won't necessarily wear a coat and tie. I'll wear maybe a sports jacket. If I'm going to go in as a mechanic, I'm not going to wear anything fancy. Just so you dress to the job for that interview. Let's see. This is key. There's 3 things the company's looking for in any interview, any job search. 3 things. They want to know, can you do the job? And that's foundational. Of course, they're not going to hire anybody that can't do the job. Number 2 is they're looking to what extra value you bring to the company in addition to doing the job. And that could be as simple as, especially Southern California, you can do that job and you know Spanish, as an example. Because they do business with Spanish-speaking companies abroad. So now you're a resource for when that affiliate company comes in town, you can communicate to that affiliate what your company does, and your company will use you for that. So that's just an example. Okay, and the third most important item that the company is looking for in the interview is, are you a fit? Can you do the job? So if you're competing, if all of us are competing, and you can do the job, we can all do the job, but you have extra value to add that maybe we 3 don't have, but they do have the same kind of extra additional value, but then they see that, you know what, you're probably a better fit in our culture. The rest of us are going to bring too much drama. I mean, the companies are actually they look at that now because they know that drama reduces profitability and production. So they want somebody who's going to come in and fit and not cause any discomfort with the existing employees. Does that make sense? It's huge because companies are very sensitive about somebody stirring the pot and causing an impact on the productivity in a negative way. Good. So those are the three things a company looks for. And then now, after you've resumed, prepped for the interview, you're in the interview, when we talk about compensation negotiation or salary negotiation, who's here been in a situation like that for negotiating your salary? Not yet? Okay. The negotiation. Okay, so if it does, they presented to you what the offering was. Good, yeah. Okay, so that's the rule is whoever comes up with the number first loses typically. So you don't want to fall in the trap of company going, how much do you want to make? How much were you thinking? Yeah, because you don't know if you're going to lowball or highball yourself. So the goal is, inside of the negotiations, I put down on your sheet, one is a 10-second rule. If they come up with the number first, you have negotiating advantage. The 10-second rule is if they come up and say, well, we want to offer you for, $65,000 and $75,000. 10-second rule means you be quiet for 10 seconds. That's a real long time. And what psychology is, they're thinking, oh, maybe I didn't offer enough. You're not saying anything. And a lot of times they'll go, well, you know what? How about 75,000 and 80,000? So they've just come up without you saying a word. So that's the 10-second rule. You decide. Of course, you're praying about this. You're going into it. It depends on how you feel. Yeah, so they emailed you the range. Okay, so James asked for that email negotiation for salary. He asked them what the range is. They sent him the range. And then now, before they emailed you? Oh, okay. Okay, hold that thought. So James is asking, what about the email interaction? I should have mentioned that the salary negotiation, even with the 10-second rule, that only occurs after the job offer. Yeah, okay. So this is good. So we'll talk about your negotiating via email, but the discussion on salary should only come after they offer you the job. That's key. That's huge. That's the most essential point I can make about when you have salary negotiations. Yeah. So the reason being is, why talk about salary if they haven't offered you the job? So that would be my response. Yeah. Well, that's after. So you don't have to. You don't have to accept the job if they offer you the job. So keep that in mind. The job offer is only an offer, and you're negotiating from the very first for that job by coming in for the interview. You want to take command of the interview. That's speaking from a Navy commander. Oh yes. Well, that's part of your research. Oh yeah. It's just an ethical thing too. It's just the money thing should not be discussed until they're offering you a job, because it's all moot. If they start talking money and they haven't offered you a job, so first so this is a scenario. You've asked me how much I want to earn. What's the range? my response would, you're the employer, potential employer, I would say, well, are you offering me the job? Period. Of course, because if they're not offering me a job, I don't want to tell them how much I want to make because you haven't even offered me a job yet. So once, and that requires a good hiring manager. If somebody starts asking you about money before they've offered you a job, you realize this company doesn't have a very good hiring system because that shouldn't even come up until the job is offered. This is key. So, and if you say, yeah, I'm offering you the job, then I would say, well, what is the range that you're looking for compensation for the individual that you're going to hire? Say no. Don't play games with them. Just say, what's the range? Because I'm not going to give them a number and then realize later, oh, their range was up here and I came in down here. So you ask them for the range. And then, again, that's how it's up to you. You want to stay in control of the interview. If they're not going to tell you, and you don't want to tell them a number and say, I'll just wait till you tell me. I mean, they should tell you the number. It's just so goofy to play games. After they offer you the job? Okay. So James is asking if they offer you a low range, can you ask for a higher? Of course. And that's what you would do. Oh, yeah. So they've offered you the job. Now you're talking compensation. And there's different ways of working it too. There's money compensation. There's vacation time. There's the benefits. Are they going to pay for your medical? How much? There's cost share or profit sharing. So you get to negotiate that with them. But that's during the compensation. This is after the job's been offered. I mean, that's what I want to make sure we understand. It's negotiation for salary comes after the job offer. You haven't accepted a job yet, and that they know that. Once that's what negotiation is for, to come to an agreement. So, and once you come to an agreement for the negotiation of the salary, of course you get it in writing, and then you accept the position. So, good. So that's the job search process, and I want to make sure you get out in time for the activities this afternoon. So I want to make sure too, at the very bottom it says application. So there's some application takeaway objectives I wrote down you can pick from. Apply to create your exploration for career planning plan, career your college, university, trade school selection plan. We didn't talk, James made a good point about the networking for business is very important. This cash flow quadrant, this revenue stream, just so you know, this side, employed and self-employed, is you trade time for money, you work for money. This side is where you get to the point where the money's working for you. A true business is where you don't have to be there all the time for your business to be making money. Does that make sense? You could be a plumber. You could be a plumber working for a plumbing company. You could be a plumber that has your own plumbing company. You could be the plumbing company owner that has plumbers working for you. And you're making money while they're out doing their plumbing and you're back at the office or in Tahiti or something like that. And then investments, of course, that's where you're using money to make money by properly investing strategically. So for this side, you can use a career coach. I put that down as an option for an application. You can start your own business. It's kind of like self-employed. Self-employed, you could have your own business, but you're the only one doing the business, so you got to be there to make money. So you're trading time for money. Here, it's what? Oh, yeah, I mean, okay, so right now, I'm employed by the Navy as a federal employee with the Hornet Jet program. I'm self-employed. I have my own aerial photography business using drones. So I'm operating in both environments. Of course, the key would be someday to hire drone pilots to do all the photography, and then I give them a commission, but my business draws the money from all their photography jobs because they work for my business. But that would be down the road. And then you're making money here to invest. Now, keep in mind that, you can use a career coach. I put out a bunch of information out there for the career coach option, and then I want to make sure I get the resource sheet to you. I have the resource sheet right here. So let me get these to you as we'll close in prayer in a minute. Okay, so if you could pass those out. Just the front sheet is a plan. That's part of that application on your handout. Create a career planning plan, a college selection plan, start your own business. You could use that sheet as where you're at now on the bottom, the current reality, and then what's your goal at the top and what steps are you going to take. Or you can utilize a career coach, and then there's the information on the side there for career coaching. So I'll go ahead and pray. Father God, thank you for this afternoon. Thank you that you did create a specific, unique career purpose for us to serve you, serve others, and to, of course, earn revenue that we can utilize to support families and our church and ministries, and just have a wonderful time experiencing your purpose in our life, especially when we're spending 8 hours plus a day during the week at our job, Lord. And thank you for this day and for this whole weekend. I pray for the rest of the conference that you do mighty and great things in men's lives. In Jesus' name, amen.